talk down to you, treat you like your voice doesn't matter, that you're not knowledgeable on certain issues, are scared of you. You should go ahead, keep pushing, keep getting involved in your community, learn your rights, vote, use facts, tweet back at them, show up at their office, call them, harass them. Don't harass them, but you know what I mean? Get involved because you matter, your voice matters no matter what your age, because one day you're going to be a voter, you're going to be writing on that ballot, you're going to be putting people in office. You may even be in office. You're done.
I know you like one more. Sorry, Alfonso. All right. The reason that they're talking, the reason that they're talking down to you because they know you're right. They do. Our paradigm as a generation is completely different than the ones of our parents because we have grown up knowing only mass shootings. We have grown up knowing what it's like to go into these schools that are now fortresses because of this. And use that to your advantage. Use that you have to go to school every day and that you're afraid because we truly are. We don't know who's next. And that's a constant question that we have to ask ourselves as kids. So use that to your advantage. Show them that you truly know what's going on because you've grown up with it.
I also wanted to piggyback on that. How many of you went to the March for Our Lives, Kansas City? Yeah. So another thing that happened during the planning of this march was so many times during the planning of this event we got the questions over and over, are you in charge? Can I talk to the person in charge? But you know what? We are the people in charge. And I completely agree with that. We are the future, but I think that we're also the now.
All right, because sadly this event does end at 7:30, we will keep the questions to 2 answers per question. Okay, guys?
Sorry.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Sam, and first off, I'd like to emphasize how great this movement is, and I really respect it, and I'm happy to be a part of it. And I just want to say that, whenever I'm talking to my friends or, anybody about gun control, I always bring up the point that after the marches or, the rallies that our schools did individually, I always feel like that there have been more shootings after that. And I would just like to know, what's the prognosis? What are we doing apart from having these meetings to better the community and to improve and make sure that this does not happen again? Because it's really scary knowing that maybe one day I might be locked in a room with my fellow classmates while there's a shooter out there just wanting to kill some of us.
Thank you for asking that. I believe there are a couple things that are very simple. First of all, this is my favorite thing to say, the best way to harness that beautiful energy that we see in these public displays is to take it to the polls and to vote. Because these public displays are us getting out there and saying we need this change, and the way to put this change on paper is to vote. Voting, the midterm elections in 2014 were the lowest attendance since World War II. We should be doing better every year. I think we're going to do a lot better this year. And I think that's one of the strongest ways we can stop them. Also, one of the best ways we can attempt to continue stopping these shootings is to look into funding gun violence prevention programs. Very often in a lot of different schools, for example, chicagostrong.org, they have a lot of effective student movements that will stop shootings in Chicago and have promoted these students bringing peace to their city.
I want to speak to that as well. I've been a part of, as I said, Chicago Strong has 2 groups, Brave and Peace Warriors. And we've been doing a lot of things for years, and we've just been trying to create change. And I think the main thing that we have to do as youth now is be prepared for radical change. Because I know coming up July 7th, we'll be marching on the Dan Ryan Expressway in Chicago. So if we want to stop this, we got to take extreme change. So if that means shutting down something here, we have to do it. So that's it.
Hi, I'd like to thank all of you for coming to Kansas City, and discussing with us about gun violence. My question is, how can more of us here in KCK get involved? Because I agree that what's here and what our economy grows up in shapes our environment and our future. And that's what I believe. So my question is, how can KCK get one?
So one thing is, there's a Students Demand Action chapter for Kansas City. The leader of the chapter is Daniela Rodriguez Chavez. If you want to meet me after the forum, I can totally give you her number, and she can definitely get you started in that. Another thing is, when it comes to doing gun reform and gun violence prevention, it starts with policy. And policy is driven by politicians who are driven by public opinion. And we are that public, so we should start forming opinions. And those opinions come from facts. And those opinions come from attending town halls like this one. And so it's a really great thing that you're here now. And I'm really happy that you're here with us. I'm so glad that you made the decision to come here. I think that getting involved this way is one of the best ways to do it, because once you start spreading that to your friends, spreading that to your family, that public opinion begins to change. And that change is going to help us for the better.
I mean, just in general, to really help out in your own area, like she said, just join up with local groups, local clubs that have already been doing this stuff. So many people have contacted us and just like all our friends back in Parkland saying, like, what can we do? And it's like, I'm in Omaha, I'm in Kansas City, I'm in Boise, Idaho, and all these people are asking us for answers. And while we are flattered, we are not in your communities. We are not in your areas to be able to just go in and help at all times. And there are people on the ground in all cities, in all areas. There are violence prevention programs. There are charities that are doing great work in your cities that have been working for years and years before we even probably were born. And just, you can join up with these groups, you can join up with them, and just really help out on the ground in your community, because that's where all of these things happen. That's where all of the change really takes place, is on the ground in your own hometown.
Hi, my name is Kate Reed. I'm from Kansas City, Kansas, and first and foremost, I would like to thank you guys for being here. So my question was, how do you guys feel about schools that don't discuss or even acknowledge things that happen? Because in my school, while we as students might discuss it amongst ourselves, we get nothing about it. Not even the teacher doesn't really say anything. It's not discussed. It's not announcements. It's not nothing. So we just go home thinking it's sort of like a normal thing.
I think the best thing you can do about that is have the conversation anyway. I think that to everybody in this room, if the conversation about gun violence in this country does not leave this room, if it stays in here tonight, you go home, and in the near future, you don't talk about it, we have failed you, and you have failed us. I think that the conversation comes with you. I think you can raise your hand and ask your teacher. You can ask your civics teacher to explain what happened. You can bring these teachers, you can hold them accountable and make them talk about what's going on in this country. It's not against the rules. And if they don't answer, ask them again.
I think another thing, learn to disagree early. That's a great thing about school. It allows us to make mistakes. It allows us to learn through them. And so in having these difficult discussions, you can grow as a person and you can be well prepared for the next one that happens. So.
My name is Mary Martin, community activist here in Kansas City, Kansas. And some of you know me, some of you don't, but I am so honored to have my youth here, my babies here. And I say babies because I consider myself as an elder. Anytime you lived as long as I am in the community as an activist, I'm considered as an elder. And I have grandkids as old as you guys. So you are my babies. And I appreciate you coming, because you standing up and you speaking out and you saying no more. We not having it. We not having it. Listen, it's important, because some of us thought we were just gonna lay down and call it a day. But you encouraging us. There's a whole lot of elders here that I know that feel encouraged by you just coming. So I want to give that to you. You know, my brother said, am I done? And I'm like, I got elder rights. I'm not done yet. You know, because I want you to hear this. Because I know you're going to Omaha. I know you're going across the country. And it's important. Because finally somebody is saying, know the power. And we need to understand that. Now look, my young brothers and sisters, for some of us that have walked that walk, I want y'all to keep walking that walk. Because the politics is not going to change. You know, all that you're going through, we have been through. And to see what we're dealing with, you know, is a shame. You know, it's unacceptable. You know, I mean, it really is. You know, when we see babies dying and we don't have any legislation that speaks on it, you know, when we see babies being incarcerated and, you know, behind fences because they want to immigrate here, you know, now I didn't have that luxury. You know, my people came by way of slavery and kidnapping. But I'm just saying that, you know, it takes somebody to help us in that struggle. So, to you, I feel honored, and that's why I had to come. Because I feel honored that you're here. I'm speaking truth. I'm speaking truth.
Can I have a hug,
You know?
please?
Is that what you want?
Yes. I want a lot of things in the world.
That's what I want.
Mary and I just decided we are going on a trip to Europe together. I'll let you all know how that goes. To everybody who had a question and was not able to get an answer in time tonight, I'm going to stay on stage. Please come up and ask me. I'm happy to talk about it.